Sri Lanka is seeking a way out of the chaos sparked by its economic crisis. Lawmakers are holding talks on next steps since the Prime Minister resigned. Reports say Mahinda Rajapaksa has been airlifted to a naval base for security reasons. Public anger is simmering in the aftermath of recent deadly clashes. Military vehicles patrol the streets of Sri Lanka's capital, while security forces have been ordered to shoot anyone looting public property or threatening lives. This comes as the island saw its bloodiest clashes in recent days between supporters and opponents of the ruling party. As many as 8 people were killed and more than 200 injured. A nationwide curfew was extended by another day, but public outrage has yet to subside. Dozens of protesters continue to camp in front of the president's office. To them, the Prime Minister's resignation is not enough. They also want his brother, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, to also step down. The Sri Lankan leader has called for unity. He is urging citizens to reject what he calls attempts to stir racial and religious disharmony. It was not immediately clear what prompted this warning. Sri Lanka has been facing months of food and fuel shortages. Many blame the Rajapaksa dynasty for the economic meltdown, which left the country with only $50 million in foreign reserves. With no end in sight to the crisis, there are reportedly attempts to form a so-called unity government, an idea the opposition has rejected.
From what I see right now, from the available information and my observations, they have not come into terms on what their stance is as a joint opposition. Sri Lanka is a multi-party country. There are multiple parties at the parliament at the moment. So it's very unfortunate that the future looks like there will be a power vacuum and there will be more instability because of that.
The president plans to meet opposition politicians within days in expectation of forming a new government. Well, for the very latest, we have Rathindra Kurawita live from Colombo. It is an alarming warning, isn't it, from the central bank tonight? It says if a government is not formed within 2 days, the Sri Lankan economy will collapse. And this as meetings are being held among politicians to form a functioning government. What's been the outcome there?
So, I mean, when the central bank governor made the statement, everyone was paying attention. However, the parliamentarians were supposed to have a discussion at 3 o'clock, and they are still discussing it. Also, unfortunately, it seems that some party leaders can't join the meeting because they are saying that their laptops were destroyed during when the protesters set fire to them. So it's unlikely that anything is going to come out of this, especially because a few hours before this meeting was started, the main opposition said that they have no interest in joining a government which is led by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. That's the main opposition, the Samajana Balawegya. The other main opposition party, the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, they also insist that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has to go. So, but then again, the ruling party MPs want Gotabaya to stay. So it is really unlikely that anything is going to come out of this meeting, which is really unfortunate.
Indeed. Now, is the military in any position to prevent a total breakdown in civil order amid those reports that we've been speaking about, Rajapaksa under siege, his brother being airlifted to safety away from protesters?
So, I mean, it all depends, right? So I was there when the protesters surrounded temple trees on Monday, and the military managed to stop them. It was very difficult for the military to stop them, and there weren't a lot of people there as well. So if there's a proper public anger and outrage and a lot of people come onto the road, it won't be possible for the military to stop this. Right now there's stability because the religious and community leaders have asked people to go home. People have gone home because of that, not because the military is on the road. And again, the central bank governor said that we might have 10-12 hour power cuts if we don't get enough money and if we can't have a functioning government. If that happens, I fear that people will definitely come onto the roads again, and then I don't think the military could stop and have can put a lid on things.
Well,
so the solution has to be political.
Absolutely. We want to thank you there for your input on the situation, Rthindra Kuruwita, reporting live from Colombo. Thank you.